What's up, everybody? Get your favorite construction vehicles, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Mech Invasion, I don't know, Legion, Giant, something or other, Excavator and Bulldozer, which is their take on Scavenger and Bonecrusher. This is the last two of the set, so we will be combining it. I'm not sure how my workflow is going this week, so either you'll be seeing this after the combined form or you'll be seeing it right before, but we will be doing both. Scott M has sent me the previous two sets again and had this set sent directly to me, so I have everything in my disposal to make that happen, which is good, and I appreciate him, and I hope you do as well. I also do a pretty interesting podcast with that dude on Patreon called Now and Then, where we tackle an old toy line and then sort of talk about like a modern adult problem. Sometimes I worry how the audience reacts to some of that stuff, but so far so good, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and get into these guys, so to speak, but first we're going to look at the accessories. So it namely comes with two rifles, and they are similar, but they are different. So this is Scavengers. We'll set that to the side for a second. We'll take a look at Bonecrushers. It bends in the middle, and we have a gunmetal accent painted in the middle, which is also nice. Hollow underneath, but I don't think that that'll bother you, and you won't really see it. In terms of storage, you want to take that groove in there. It's like a I-beam type groove. Find the I-beam here on the back, insert it in. It's a taut fit. Once it plugs in, bend it at the middle, and then it'll sit flush against the bottom of the vehicle. And of course, he can hold that weapon just fine. As for Scavengers, similar deal. Once again, gunmetal accent in the middle, bends in the middle, black plastic, decent enough sculpt, hollow underneath. I don't think it'll be a problem. It has the magnet also. We'll talk about that in a bit. Both of them have it by chance. Storage, once again, I-beam to I-beam. Once again, snug fit. But get it plugged in, bend it in the middle, hidden underneath, no problem. And of course, he can hold that weapon by plugging it into his hand just fine. And then, much like the other guys, it comes with light-up features with batteries and the little bits to encapsulate them, and then you can use the magnets on the gun to activate them, similar to the rest. And it's nice that they include them. I'm going to let Scott handle all this, but it does come with them. So let's talk about vehicle mode. We'll start with Excavator or Scavenger. These things are really decoed beautifully. And in typical sort of, I mean, like the rumor is that this is the continuation of Warbitron / Generation Toy / Transformation. And it comes through a lot, both in packaging and in the amount of painted detail. The whole bucket here is painted silver. There's silver and gunmetal here. The caution is here, Tampo paint everywhere, like, or pad printed paint, as I like to say here. You even get it in gray on the purple. It's just tons of color breakup, et cetera, et cetera. It does make it pop. I dig it an awful lot. As for the digger here, you can rotate this forward and back. You can swivel it side to side. This hinges as well for a full range, and the bucket moves as well. So that all works nicely. And is there anything else that I wanted to say here? Regarding this guy, I'm not sure that there is. Oh, yes, there is. So my one criticism, and obviously these are stylized, but that this is so long, you know, and it does take away from sort of the iconic nature that, you know, I feel like that's one of the Scavenger's more iconic things is that it's about half, you know, or maybe 3/4, but not a big deal, but worth pointing out. Let's talk about Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher's ready. We have a silver painted down here at the bottom. We have the 06, which is his number, which is cool. And 05 is on the bucket here as well, which is also cool. Pad printed paint there, silver and gunmetal paint, red accents. The windows are painted with that metallic blue with the giant Legion Tampo on, which is nice. Same for the caution signs. Once again, just the same old stuff. The front end of this Bulldozer doesn't articulate at all. And I've actually been having a bit of a trouble keeping this all connected, but that's my one criticism of this alt mode, like the 06 there on the back. But otherwise, same sort of deal. Looks pretty good. Stylized a bit, but also instantly recognizable as who it's supposed to be, so I dig that. You know, in the same breath that you could say that this is too long, you could say it doesn't have like the kind of, roof or over top. And then size comparison wise, there it is with Tiger Tracks. All right, so let's get them transformed, and we'll start with Bonecrusher. Let's see. Okay, so we'll start here. Separate the from this section. It'll want to come undone anyway, so don't worry about that. Untab this front here, and then you want to lift up and spin this around 180. Get that out of the way, and then we're gonna work on these legs. So split them here, and they'll rock down on a joint at the hips, which will allow you to kind of articulate them a bit. You have to pull this down here. I use the feet just to get it started, but there you go. That's the heel, and then wrap the foot around. Take this section here, spin the entire section around, tab it back in, and then take this section, and it sits as a knee pad, which is a cool idea for the, a stylized look. It sits flat over top of the knee. Okay, same for this side. So we're going to collapse the hip down, bring this down, rotate the foot out a little bit, help get the feet started, bring that down, wrap the toes around, untab this side armor piece, which will allow you to rotate the shin 180, then plug the side armor piece back in, and then bring down the knee pad and sit it flush against the treads. Moving on to the upper body, we're going to tuck in this smokestack here, undo the cab, undo our arms, rotate them down to the side, extend the elbows, flip over the hands, take this panel and cover back on the forearms, flip over the hands, take this panel, cover back on the forearms. We're going to rotate the head up and the chest piece down. We're also going to get these pieces out of the way, and then that will allow us to start moving this whole section up, move the chest in, move the pecs, I guess, to the front, rotate by rotating down and then up, and then you can rotate the arms properly. Until they all work, so, biceps, wrists, whatever you got to do to make it work. And then we just had this canopy here, which is the one thing that seems a little less than kind of finished on this guy, but it just sort of, I think, tucks in at using the double hinge, and then you have this guy. We have one thing left to do, and that's rotate the hips 180, and then he's finished. I'll clean him up. We'll take a look at him. And we'll get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis. And the eyes are dead because of the light up feature. The light up feature can be included. The hole is already there for it, and I've shown you the batteries and such. We have some silver paint there on the forehead and on the face. Face sculpt is good. Little dull around the lips. Little gold accent there on the forehead. Head is on a ball peg. Get you up to there, which is good. Down to there, which is fine. Swivel. Not really confused. Bonecrusher face. Shoulders out to 90 degrees here. Then you get an additional hinge that gets you further. Bicep swivel. Single hinged elbow. That gets you a little less than 90 degrees. And then wrist swivel. Silver paint. Pad printed paint for the caution tape still coming through. And then some silver accents on the shoulder as well. This arm is the same, except it has this little Tampo paint there as well. Except I don't have this swiveled the right way. Good grief. Or maybe I did. There you go. Sorry, I had this one wrong. So now you get the full bend of the elbow. It looks like it could go either way, you know what I mean, so to speak. But there, now you get a much further bend, which is cool. Okay. Then moving on to the chest, we have silver and red paint. Silver paint on the front, some silver accents there on the abdomen. You do get an ab crunch. You get a waist swivel. It does jut out this pelvis piece here. Same for the silver and gunmetal accents there. Hips. So you have this rock down feature. They can be as limited as that, or kind of expand them and as far apart as that. Ratcheted forward and back for the full Monty. Thigh swivel, but it's locked in a little bit because of your knee pads, but you do get a shin swivel and you do get an ankle swivel. So using both, I mean, you had to untab this obviously, but using both, you should get everything you need, theoretically speaking. Silver gold accents, gunmetal accents, etc. Double jointed knee, get you the full run with the die cast joint with the treads on it that are covered up by the knee pad, which is unfortunate, but maybe it'll be different on Scavenger. And yeah, this is just a little, I wonder if you can't mess with this and get this a little tighter, because it wants to snap in there, you know, but then you can't get the backpack in. It's just, maybe you can turn this around. Yeah, that works a little bit better. Yeah, and then you have the butt plate. It's up to you. A couple of different aesthetic cues that you can take depending on your preferences, but you know, not bad by any stretch of imagination. Let's look at the other one. All right, let's move on to Scavenger, and we're gonna untab this from the bottom. It's already come untabbed, but there's 2 silver tabs in there. We're also gonna get this piece up and out of the way just so I don't break it, and we're also going to. Let's just hold off. So we're going to bring these down a taste, and we're going to separate the legs there. And I really want to get this down. So let's open this up here and get that out to the side. And that will allow you to rotate the leg down. So same on this side. Just make sure it clears it. Rotate the leg down. Okay, then the hips will sort of double hinge down, and then you've got to twist down the, and then you'll see that the more looking piece needs to be rotated to the front, and then untab this and rotate this entire piece, and then tab it back in. Same on this side. You can use this flap here needs to come down. You can use the foot to sort of help get you started, but just be careful because you are putting tension with the torque there. So just once you get it cracked a little bit, so to speak, then maneuver it using this piece here. Rotate the foot around to the front, untab this, rotate the shin, and then tab that back in. Okay, so then we'll work on the arms. Untab these pieces, bring them down, and then you can extend at the elbow. And then you can bring down the hand, and you can tuck back this panel. Same on this side. We'll leave that there for now. Then this whole piece rotates up and over, and then this silver piece comes down and connects there. And then you gotta rotate all this. So open this up, get that down, rotate that up, and then these 2 panels have to rotate down and then rotate up to fill in nicely. So rotate down, fill in up, to rotate nicely. This can just come back down, I believe. That can collapse. And then we just have to sort out the shoulders, which you can just, you know, use your common sense. Elbows. Boom. No. Sorry, one more thing. Rotate the hips 180. Now the knees will bend the right way. Once again, common sense stuff will let you know what you did right and wrong there. And let's get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis. So Once again, it uses light piping. It does have the light up feature, but unfortunately they didn't do lights with the painted eyes. Every now and then I'll get somebody commenting that you can't have the eyes painted and have them light up, and all I can tell you is that you are adamantly wrong. It's been done numerous times. A great example and a perfect example is Fans Toys Omega Supreme, but there are others that have done it. It's just my like kind of go-to. And otherwise it just always looks a little like somebody turned his lights off, you know? Obviously the back there is open to put the accessory bit in. Silver paint, red paint, that looks fine. Head is on a ball peg. You get fair up, fair down, side to side, and a little bit of confused scrapper face, so all that works nicely. Shoulders, you get out to 90 degrees at this hinge, but then this hinge also moves due to transformation, getting you even further. Bicep swivel, single hinge elbow, that gets you the full run. Wrist swivel. Now, paint-wise, once again, we have the Tampo paint for the caution sign there. We have the silver accents, and then another pad-printed paint or Tampo paint for the caution, and all of that works nicely. Silver paint here. Same for the other side. Waist-wise, you do get a waist swivel. It does jut around this pelvis piece a little bit, but you can sort it out. It's just not the cleanest for whatever reason. And then you do get an ab crunch as well. Let's see if we have a bilify joint. No bilify joint. All right. Hips. Now, once again, you can have them nice and collapsed. We'll back out now so we can see the whole figure. You know, nice and collapsed, you get down to there. You can extend the hips a bit and get even further, which is interesting. And then ratcheted forward and back for the full Monty. Thigh swivel. Double hinged knee for the full run, and beautifully painted tread sculpted continuing knee joint there. Very, very, very well done. Ankle swivel. No ankle tilt up. You do get an ankle tilt down, and you do get a rocker. And then obviously the silver and gunmetal silver accents there on the back, and then gold. So what do we have, ladies and gents? Silver and gold. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think there's much else to talk about. There he is from the back. Okay, to go to combine mode, it's a little tricky from robot mode. Not tricky, but it's a little bit more involved in robot mode than it is from alt mode. So it's up to you which way you want to go. But you got to untab this side part here, spin it back around the way that it initially was, and then you want to collapse the toe, right? And then bring this piece up, rotate this piece around so that it kind of starts forming a bit of a toe, if you will. And then same for this side. So we're going to collapse the toe. We're going to untab that side piece there. We're going to spin 180. We're going to take this section here, extend it, wrap it up, and then this is going to collapse. Now we need to bring down this piece. And let's see which way this has got to go. Like this. These tab in, like the legs tab in together. And then this tabs into the side. So once again, legs tab in together. And then that tabs into the side. Make sure that's nice and pushed in. These pieces come back down, I think, and just sit here to the rear, and then just make sure that your toes here are lined up properly. Okay, take the cab and open it up. Bend at the ab crunch. You can disconnect these pieces too. Bend at the ab crunch. We're going to tuck the head back in. Then this can come back down and tab in. These pieces, I think, are just meant to like sit down. The arms, you need to collapse them, the hands back in. Then the arms come up. This comes out. And down. This will tab into the side here. And then this, I think you want to just have sort of open for now. And so like untab it, but that's where it'll eventually go. Same for this side. So open this up, fold the hand back. You want to expose the silver portion. So just like here, rotate until the silver portion shows mostly. Fold this around, I think, to the side, and then leave this open, and then this will connect obviously with long haul. And this actually might need to get turned around. I'm not entirely sure, honestly, but if you do, just swivel it until you can get the clearance. And then good to go. If that's the way it goes. I think it is, I'm not sure. Real quick, I just double checked the instructions and I had this arm a little mixed up. So this is the proper configuration. I'll show you what it looks like on this way. I just get 8 up because some of this looks like the elbow should go either way, but you definitely wanted to have the 90-degree bend and then rotate it around and then make sure that that peg is still gonna connect, and that's what you're looking for. Okay, let's try Scavenger. So once again, we're gonna tuck the head back in, and we're going to take these chest pieces, the pecs that we've built, down, and then plug them in here to the side. This piece comes up and over like this, I believe. And then the arms, we just have to transform back, I think. So take this flap, put this back in. And I had to do this just to keep the configuration right so I don't make the same mistake as I did on Bonecrusher. We're going to undo this here in a second. Make sure the arm, the elbow bends properly. You can open this up, I think. Same for this side. Rotate that up. Open this, make sure your elbow, oh, we got to put the fist away. And then make sure the elbow bends properly. Make sure that this all connects. The legs are going to be largely similar, so untab this, that comes down, and collapse the toe, untab the side piece, spin it, flip it to the opposite side, but you got to lift up the extra part of the foot. Same for this side. Down, untab, spin, lift up, close, and then bend at the knee, tab in, bend at the knee, tab in, and then rotate down, plug in to the crotch piece, and then tab the toes together. All right, and now I can finish this because I had the configuration right in my mind. So spin it, drop it down, but keep it out to the side. So spin it, drop it down, keep it out to the side. And there they are. You know, they're kind of the least complete looking, you know, because you got to like plug all this stuff in to form it up with long haul, you know, but we're going to get that done soon. you know, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I guess I'll give you a size comparison real quick with size swipe. You know, they're about the length of a Masterpiece Carbot. So, you know, I'm anxious to get this guy combined and see how it turns out. It's been a very fulfilling set in a lot of ways, so I'm really curious to see how it all works out. Of course, I'm giving myself 2 for that. Final thoughts-wise, let's start with the negative. It's not really a negative, but in alt mode, the length of Scavenger is off-putting to me for some reason, but it is a stylized take, so I'm going to forgive it. It's just something that I mentioned in the beginning, so I'm mentioning it again. The real negative in alt mode is that you get no use of the Bulldozer action for Bulldozer, whereas a lot of the other ones have kind of had that feature for the sort of construction element of it. And maybe there's a way to do it, and I just didn't push it to its limits. That's also possible. Other than that, the dual use of the mold works well enough. However, the issue, in my opinion, arises with Bulldozer's canopy or cab trying to tuck in properly and make some sort of use of it because it doesn't have the kind of bucket that extends off the back that's kind of easier to get out of the way. Bulldozer also has the thigh swivel that's sort of hindered by the knee pads, so something else to take notice of. And then, you know, they should use the eye paint that looks great whether it's lit up or not. Moving on to the positives, the materials feel good. I enjoy the stylized take, something new, fresh, and unique. It's not trying to be anything it's not. And there is some real artistry that comes through as a result. They don't overdo it with accessories, but they all integrate well. The transformations are smooth for both, and enjoyable, and fun, and easy, but simultaneously not boring. They're well articulated across the board. Paint apps everywhere. Not finishes, but paint apps. I love the sculpted knee joints to continue the tread motif. They're well built. So what else is there to say? In case it's not obvious, a strong recommend from me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.